What's going on, people? Welcome to Conversation with Haych, and we have an amazing gospel duo that used to be part of the Coventry Boys, from way back when, used to be part of the Coventry Boys. Used to be a quartet, the Coventry Boys Quartet. That's what I'm calling them, but I don't even know if that's what they were called. Now, gospel duo who have tracks like Hold On and These Praises for You. They've been on Unexpected Star of the Show 2019 when they was getting a sparring team, and then just Max, get me. Now they're featured on Ollie's team on The Voice UK semi-finalists. When we're filming this, they're two male singers that I will always call on no matter what kind of thing I am doing. The brothers, the Henrys, Jordan and Wesley, JW Musiq. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. We're real good, man. Excited to be here.
Now, listen, I had to, if you guys understood after you guys did that performance, with Tasha, the amount of people was like, I hope you get in the man, These times I already spoken to you. It was like, listen, your thing ain't popping unless you get JW Musiq on your. I said, okay, cool, safe, bless.
Nice.
But for those who don't know who you are, who is Jordan and who is Wesley?
Well, I'm a 27-year-old guy from Coventry that loves the Lord, loves music, loves food, as you probably can tell. And just a normal guy, I guess. I didn't say your name. I did. I said my name was Jordan.
You didn't?
Oh, shame. Well, my name's Jordan, if you didn't hear. He's like, he's Jordan, he said, I'm 27 from Coventry.
Yeah, he did so. You went straight in.
He went straight My bad. I apologize. Yes, I'm Wesley. I'm 30. And just a regular guy, just here. Loves music, loves food, just chilling. That's me.
I like how you guys dropped in. I love how you like food, You didn't even have to, but it's like, hey, guys, listen. Loves music, loves food,
Listen, food. I could talk about food all day. Trust me. Good food anyway.
Oh, gosh. So what was family life like in the Henry household growing up?
Family life was cool, man. I mean, it was kind of strict. Our parents are Caribbean and they had a certain standard we had to adhere to, and they're Christians. Pastor, do you know what I'm saying? So we're PKs, now BKs, because my dad's a bishop. And it was kind of strict. Like, they were kind of protective of us. But listen, like, we had a good time. Like, it was fun. Yeah, man, it's sometimes stressful sometimes because of church and everything like that. But other than that, man, childhood, everything, the Henry household is blessed. Like, we're very family orientated and big on spending time with each other. And that's what it's like in our household.
No, that's good. So you talked about pastor's kids, now bishop's kids. How did you find that kind of growing up? Obviously, that's tough. I'm a bishop's grandkid. You get me? So I don't really. I miss a generation. So I'm a bit. But as a pastor's kid, how was that growing up, and how did growing up in church shape you guys for the future as well?
To be honest, growing up, I didn't feel the pressure of being a pastor's kid or a bishop's kid because our parents didn't like reiterate the fact that was the case. It was other people that would say it to us. Yeah. So we just felt like normal kids. We just whatever. And I remember I don't know what happened at church one time, and someone was like, "Oh, you can't say that, or you can't do that because you're a pastor's kid." I turned to the person. I think I was of age at the time. Obviously, I wasn't too young. I was like. I turned to the person. I basically said, with all due respect, does that mean I'm not human? And the person just looked at me and they couldn't say anything because everyone assumes that because you're a pastor's kid, you're like a different kind of human. You're automatically held to a higher standard because of you. I get that mindset, but at the same time, we're all human. Like, we all make mistakes. So I didn't feel that pressure. Yeah, I think what made it easier is that our cousins as well, they were PKs. So like one set and then another. So we all were kind of in the same kind of position, and neither of our parents actually, or uncles and aunts or whatever, never put any additional pressure on us. We were literally ourselves. The same way they would tell us about Christ, they tell us, the young people, the same thing. So it wasn't like you were getting any kind of different treatment. It was the same. I think from a cultural standpoint, they were very much like, remember who you are, remember whose child you are. Wherever you go.
Wherever you go.
It don't matter where you are,
Listen,
don't matter what your first name is. Remember that last name, because that's who you represented.
Trust me.
Always.
To this day, it's like you're not just representing yourself like it's their family name, so you just need to make sure you come correct. So it's
The
like
whole family.
mhm.
Oh my gosh. But what was it like growing up in church though? What was that like?
Yo, I can't be lying to you. It was lit. Like growing up in church, a lot of people say it's boring, it's whatever. Listen, like we had so much fun. We had so much fun. Our youth program, youth leaders, and there was a lot of young people. My dad pastored in Northampton for like 9 years. That's where that's where all of our social activities were. And it was, we saw it grow. We saw that the children and the young people grow, as well as the whole church. And it was a whole vibe. Like we enjoyed going and interacting, and it was real good. It was real good.
So one of the things that I kind of want to ask about is, have you got a story from church that's so funny that it comes to mind sometimes? You're in church and you're just like, you remember when that happened? And you just start chuckling to yourself.
Listen, there's a few. One that comes to mind, I can't even say the person's name, but I will never forget. We were up there leading worship one time, yeah? And this individual walked in and kind of like sat out. But the individual like didn't realize they didn't have a wig on. They just had the head sock.
And they came to the front.
So we're trying to lead worship, yeah, and we in the moment, but then you just.
I think for that moment, I think people just weren't worshiping. Everyone's laughing.
But then what made it worse is that person, they went and then they came back with the wig on.
No shame, the same way. But then not with their chest, but with some confidence and just.
But the big thing is, yo, it caught us off guard. Like that's one that will tickle me to forever. Yeah. Like
that will never.
You know what's funny about that as well? How are you so brave to just walk to the front, not even know?
No, there's none of that.
And just like, I'm just gonna sit here, just headscarf on.
You got the head sock and the little ball at the top.
And it was still kind of lifted still.
And then they came back like, listen, new person, new me, new year, new me.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that.
Oh my gosh, that is okay. Ooh, that'll caught me off guard. So if there's one thing that you guys have learned from family life individually, what would that be?
I think for me, it's just to be committed and just to be grounded. To always put your best foot forward, always knowing that greater is on before you. Like obviously we come from a Christian background, and our faith and our hope is in Jesus Christ and stuff like that. But not leaving Jesus Christ aside, because he underpins everything. But just in yourself as a person, just to be who you are. Do you know what I mean? And be unapologetically, I think it is. I'm trying to say you. And yeah, walk with your head held high, like regardless of what it is. Sometimes that's one of the things that my parents, even though you see them and I suppose their examples haven't been that they always have been up here. You see sometimes when they are stressed or when they are finding things a bit difficult, but they always manage somehow, some way to be on and to be ready to do whatever. So that encourages me. So that's the kind of inspiration I've had in my home.
What about you, Jordan?
I think for me, one thing I have taken or learned over the years is to be present in each moment, because like, life is short. Life could do it. It's not promised to anyone. Anything can happen. If 2020 taught anyone anything, the unexpected can happen at any point. And it's to just understand that the moments that you're in, like, just be present in them. Don't be half-hearted in it. If you're going to do something, go with it wholeheartedly or not at all. That's one thing that's I've definitely learned over the years. I'm either going to do something or I'm not going to do it. I can't be half-hearted in it because I just know I'm not giving myself to it fully. So
commit. Don't tap out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, yeah.
Nah, that's good because sometimes we get to a place where we're like, do I do this? Do I go this place? And and in all that doubt and all that kind of lack of confidence to kind of do something, you kind of, as Jordan says, you kind of do it half-heartedly, so you don't get to put your all in it, or you kind of like you miss opportunity sometimes where you kind of don't go for it and just like but nah, that's great.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to know though, which I've never asked you guys ever in the time that I've known you, when was the moment that you individually knew, listen, I can sing, you know? When was that moment? What was the song? And when was that?
The song, you know. He started singing before me.
I think I didn't know I could like sing, but I knew I had a bit of an ability from a young age. I think my mum said to me, I would just sing all the time in the car, like sing at the top of my lungs and just sing.
The little soprano.
Back in the day, I think my mum called me. You might know this. Called me to the worship team. I was about 7. One Sunday, I'll never forget. I was sat, I think, near the front row. And mum literally said, "Wesley, come." And literally from then, I was singing on the team.
So you was harmonizing from 7 as well, is what we're saying.
I wasn't harmonizing from 7.
it was
just the melody, you know? Just the melody. But yeah, I kind of knew from then, and I think that kind of encouraged, I suppose, what I had and allowed me to explore it just a bit more. Jordan was late.
Yeah, for me, it was around about 10 years old. Because obviously we're driving to and from Northampton, like Sundays, Tuesdays, but Fridays,
Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
Music is playing in the car and you're just singing along and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was when my dad was leaving Northampton, they were doing an appreciation service. And they were like, "Oh, you two should sing." And I was like, I ain't never sang like up anywhere before. And then I think the song we sang was it Mark Beswick?
Mark Beswick's "I Will Lift Up Mine Eyes to the Hills."
They're like, "I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, my words coming." That one. We did that, and the response was just like,
yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, maybe there is something here. Like, maybe we can just kind of try a little something and just go forward with it." So I think from then, yeah.
I think that's the time we sang together properly.
Oh, okay.
I was obviously singing before.
But Jordan, how did people know that you could sing for them to say you guys should sing? Obviously, Wesley been singing in the car. Wesley been in the car singing.
Because
I think it could have been mum. Because mum would obviously know.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you're young and just singing in the car, like I wasn't focusing on singing. I was just enjoying the music. And I wasn't focusing on like, to be fair, mum said that we would be very meticulous with certain things and making sure we get the notes and all this
runs, but everything.
At the time, we were just enjoying the music. But mum was like, "No, you were very meticulous. Like, you make sure you get every note and this is that." So yeah, I think it was my mum that basically co-signed it. Yeah. And when we went and did that, and then we actually harmonized at one point.
yeah.
That song.
There was a bit of an increase in what we're doing, like, in terms of
just like, you guys could do this and all this kind of stuff.
It was one harmony though. That's all it took. Is that one harmony?
We sang harmony in the chorus anyway. When we took it up just slightly, people were like, "Oh,
yeah.
Take it up just a little."
They was like, "Oh, they got a little something."
Literally,
yeah, man.
So what was you guys' careers like outside of music, and were they what you wanted to do long term?
So me, I'm a social worker, so I work with children and families all now. I work with children and families, and it wasn't something that I'd said. I think I was like, okay, this is what I definitely want to do. I think the Holy Spirit led me in this way, and yeah, man, the work is challenging, but it's good. I understand, knowing the kind of person that I am, I'm quite inquisitive.
He's fast.
I get that. So I get that, but it's not just I just enjoy it. I think I just enjoy the interaction and trying to help people be solution focused and just try to make things better. Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
Me, I studied business and law at university. Leaving uni, I was like, when I was younger, I wanted to be an accountant. Took A-level maths, and that basically No, literally.
But that's
I
the
remember
problem.
took-
That's the
I
problem for
wanted-
people though, because people take A-level maths. I took A-level maths. 'Cause I wanted to be an accountant. I dropped that as soon as I could, because these formulas, I don't need to count no money. This don't make no sense.
I remember I took one, the first exam I got a C. I was like, okay, cool. Second exam, I took it, I got a U. I was like, wow. Let me retake this one. Best believe I took it and got the exact same grade. I was like, okay, this is not for me. So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe accountant isn't for me. So after uni, I went to a car dealership and was working there for like a good 5 years. Started off as like logistics and admin support. Ended up becoming like the administration team leader there. And it was cool working in the car industry and so many different brands. And it's the other side of it that people don't see, like the paperwork side, the leasing companies, the branches, all that stuff, having to deal with all that. It was stressful at times. Obviously, registration changed September and March. Yeah. As hectic as can be, but it was fun. And then from then, I moved on to an exam board, which was cool, seeing it from the other side of it. And how, you know, when they tell you like in exams, like make sure you stay inside the lines and all this kind of stuff. Because when they split it and scan it into the printers, like they have to keep those spines. So just in case people do write in those lines and someone contests it, they have to go back and find that exact spine that was. Listen, I didn't realize it was that intricate. It's that deep. It's that deep. And stuff like that. So seeing it from that side and managing different subjects and panels and just making sure everyone's marking to standard and all that kind of stuff, it was interesting. And then I moved on to a broadband kind of environment that didn't last very long. Literally didn't. Listen, they sold it to me as like, oh, it's a technical role and all this kind of stuff. So I was thinking, okay, let me just try a different challenge. It was a glorified call center. And I was like, listen, this is not for me. So I ended up leaving that. But then that was after fasting for like a good long time. Like I started the fast at the end of June 2020, like in the middle of lockdown. I was still working there. And I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be like a 2-week fast. And then the Lord was kind of like, the date he gave was August the 1st. I was like, sorry. What do you mean August the 1st? I had the whole of July. I was like, wait, what do you mean? And obviously, like working from home and all that kind of stuff, I was like, all right, Jesus, you said what you said, so I'm going to do it. And then it was like on August the 1st, I kind of got the release to leave that role. And then, yeah, so here I am. I'm currently job searching, but I believe the Lord has got things in the works, so I'm not stressing or complaining about anything. Like, all will be.
But one of the things that I kind of want to get from you guys is how did you find the balance? Because for as long as I've known you, you've been singing. So obviously you've gone through uni, you know, had your different careers and stuff. How do you balance between the singing, the ministering, the performing, as well as doing your careers as well?
Yeah, I think like we took a pause on it. Like when we were at uni and we were studying, we didn't do music as we had done, I think, probably in previous years. And then when Jordan had finished, we still didn't take it too seriously. We were doing a few bits here and there, and what have you. But it wasn't only till about 2017. It was 2017. It was at National Convention, you know.
Yeah, National Convention.
When we sang Total Praise, it was that convention.
Listen.
But the stress it took to get there.
Listen, it was a stress.
Oh, I remember. Wait, hold on. No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm going to tell that story. So guys, listen. So what happened was Jordan and Wesley were singing at National Convention, which is like our church is National Convention essentially. And they were meant to be on at a particular time. So I was stage managing at the time. So everyone's like, where's Jordan and Wesley? Where's Jordan and Wesley? Where's Jordan and Wesley? Where's Jordan and Wesley? I'm like, listen, they're on their way. You know, people are telling me they're on their way. About a minute, if that, before they was meant to sing, they come through the door. Just like, I'm like,
I didn't pop my car. My dad had to pop my car. I literally just jumped out of the car. Dad went and parked it and we ran in.
I was like, guys, calm down. It's all right. Just said, come on, just breathe. Just, do you need any water? Do you need anything? Just calm down. They was like, and I remember them both just sitting there, just like, And then
my
they
gosh.
went to Minister, and it was like just
Oh my gosh.
Because we said just before that convention, you know what? Like, okay, if we're gonna take
Music, seriously.
music seriously, we'll do it now. Like, just put our best foot forward.
If it works,
If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we know what we're doing. And yeah, since that time we've been working. So kind of like working in my day job and in doing music, it's been quite challenging because of my job takes quite a lot of my attention, especially during the day. Jordan has managed a lot of maybe correspondence, phone calls, all that kind of stuff, because I can't literally, some stuff I can maybe, but I haven't got the time because I'm like busy with everything. So he just get to me and just ask me, do I agree? Yes or no? Tell me what's going on. So John kind of, just because of the nature of our jobs, he's taken on more of it. So yeah, but by the grace of God, we've done, and like literally, and continue to do. That's the
listen.
only way.
We're gonna come on to that. We will come on to that. So in terms of music, then, is that something you guys want to do full time, or is it just kind of as the Lord leads kind of thing?
I'd love to do it full time.
Yeah,
like that would be that's my hottest desire, I think, from a young age. But then at the same time, I'm mindful that my life ain't my own, so I have to be led by what the Holy Spirit is saying. So if He allows, and if He would have us to be in a space where we can do it full time, it's not about us. It's about what He can do through us. So that's what it's about. Isn't it? I haven't always had this mindset.
What was the mindset before, Wesley? Let's talk about the mindset.
Listen, it was all about like what I could do, what I could get, like things that I could do, connections I could make, all that kind of stuff. And
really?
More centered around, about kind of like what we could actually do. You just drop it.
Jordan's just there like, I can't believe you had that mindset. I just can't believe it.
But yeah, then I've received like people that speak into your life and they tell you what God is saying and all that kind of stuff. And God's literally had to break down some of these like ideas that I've had to show me, I suppose, more of who He is, and that His plans and the way He does things is far greater than I can like comprehend or imagine. And I've seen Him do, like the way I've seen Him work through me in my job shows me enough to say, you know what, like I'm not doing this, I'm not living this by myself. So it's the same approach I'm applying to that. I'm like, all right, God, you know what it is, so what will be will be.
So did you guys ever have doubts of getting to where you are now? And kind of how did you kind of overcome that? Or was it just kind of progressing throughout?
Did we have doubts? I guess we did have doubts.
Yeah.
In the sense of, will this ever go anywhere? In terms of the music we put out, like how are we going to be able to find the money to record this and do this and make sure the quality's there and all this kind of stuff. But through it all, God has been ever present. Even like just in the little things, like in the fine details that He knows that we'd be like obsessed with. He takes care of it. But it's realizing that what we're doing isn't for us. It's for everybody else, and it's for Him at the end of the day. It's all glory goes to Him. But what we have isn't ours. Like, we could be selfish with it and just keep it to ourselves, but it's a gift that needs to be shared with the world. So
as freely as you received, freely give. Come on.
And that's the vein that we're rolling in. So we never said that we were the greatest. We've never said that we were whatever. Because I know there's people out there that can sing circles around this and everything. But with what we have, we'll deliver. If you like it, great. If you don't, God bless you. It's calm.
It's true. It's true. I constantly pray like that God helps us to keep humble, because it's so easy to slip into a space where your head kind of inflates. You know, so easy to do it, and on a human level, it naturally happens. So I'm like, Holy Spirit, just keep us in it. Just rein us in, like when you see us. And I suppose our family would do it. Anyway.
Our family would pull us
right back to that. Just rein us in. You know what I mean? Just because the focus is Him and it's not us. Yeah,
that's amazing, because especially in regards to you guys sharing your gift. I've been on Jordan and Wesley's case for the longest time to share their gift.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's on its way. Where is it? Guys, where is it? I'm waiting on you to bring the gift that I see and just allow it to. So it's amazing to see where you guys have got to so far. Because imagine this is just the start as well. This ain't even anything. This is the start.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
Unexpected star of the show.
Oh my gosh.
2019.
Oh Lord.
How on earth did you guys get on there from the spa day, you know? You guys was enjoying a little spa day.
Oh my gosh. That whole experience.
That all comes down to
crazy.
That the reason we got onto the show is because Jodine,
our sister, she applied and did everything. Yeah. And then got the rest of the family involved, unbeknownst to us. So they sold it. So we were told that we were going to a spa to review it, and
because our cousin, she worked in
that industry. So obviously she was the one that called us and said, "Oh, my company wants to buy this spa in London, or looking to do it like for males and stuff like that. So could you guys go down, give it a review, and then come back and let's not give you that money on top of that as well." So we were like, "Okay, free treatments, money, come on." So we head down there now, thinking maybe these people will try and like overdo it or do whatever just to try and get the best reviews. But when we walked into the place, it literally just straight legit. It looked like a spa. It smelled like a spa. Everything was covered. So we were just like
changing rooms, like
the change rooms. I think because there were like specific ones that you had to go into. Yeah. And I was like, first of all, Rashawn's roof for the side of the dressing that she gave me. I was like, no.
But listen, they were big, because they were going on a big stage.
And then when things were happening in the spot, we're like, when she came in, she was like, "You here for bikini wax?" So we're like, "Sorry."
I'm like, "What is this?
What is this?" No. And then the little things that were happening, we're like, maybe they're just doing this to try and make it fun so they can get a good review, all that kind of stuff. And
trying to do the quirky little bits and pieces because it's new and X, Y, and Z. So you guys didn't know, even at this point.
No.
I had no clue.
We knew something was
up, but we just didn't know what. Just didn't know what. Wesley was just like, "Oh, there's a camera there."
I walked in, I was like, "There's a camera set right here. Like, what's going on?" And then that's when they had to quickly. And then Jordan went because we offered a hot drink, but there was no
because you needed the toilet.
Yeah, I needed the toilet. Like, "Oh, our toilets are broken." I was like, "What do you mean?"
How you allowed me to review a spa and your toilets are broken?
Right.
Okay.
So we're noting these things now. They offered us a hot drink. And no hot drink came, so Jordan went in.
I was up looking around the room like she put the cups in and left. I was like, "Listen, if you don't break it, I'll make it myself." So I went looking for tea bags, all that kind of stuff. But apparently where I was right next to a camera, and if I was looking even more, I would have found it. So they literally sent someone in to kind of distract us and all that kind of stuff. And when Curtis and AJ came in, we're like, "No, something's definitely not right now. Something strange is going on." And then when they took us round through the corridor to that room where it was actually on stage,
but it was on stage. I was like, "So why is there someone else in this treatment?"
Like, you guys are vexed.
Why is there someone else up in here? Oh, don't worry, it will be fine. Just sit down and the therapist be in a few seconds. Don't worry.
But we couldn't. I couldn't even sit. I'm so glad that it showed, because that chair wasn't correct. I was trying to sit down. I was like, I can't put my head in the thing and sit down at the same time. Or this, it just wasn't. Listen, they didn't show everything.
Jordan.
Listen, I'm like, no. And then we left. And then within 5 seconds of the door closing,
we hear this click,
and it was like, whoosh.
And I was like,
and then this scream. I was like, is this what?
I was like, when I heard it and I heard it start to, I was like, move. I was like, no, I know this. I recognize this from somewhere. I was like, this couldn't happen to me. And then it did.
It felt surreal. And then when we looked over and saw Michael, I was like, oh, for heaven's sake. Really? Really?
It was mad.
And the first thing I was like, you mean to tell me I'm in a dressing gown and slippers on a big, big stage?
What
do you mean?
Big
and
stage.
They've seen all that happen with the guacamole or the avocado on our face and all of that stuff.
The thing is, it makes sense to why you guys was just kind of like, in certain parts, you was just like, okay, like this is happening because you were reviewing the spa. So it was like you had to kind of take in all the things and be like, yeah, this ain't really, but I'm here to review, so I get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And our family, usually someone would have made something slip somewhere. They're so hush.
I'm proud of them for that. But at the same time, I'm like, you guys are mad wrong. But when we were on stage and the wall went down, I was thinking, oh, what are family gonna think? Like
They were in the audience.
they were in the audience, you know, all this time, and they knew.
They knew.
Oh my gosh, the whole experience was crazy.
It was mad. It was surreal. Like we did not expect that at all.
So-
Unexpected is the word.
So when that happens and you guys are then like, you guys are going to sing tonight, how did that feel? And then how did you feel after doing that?
To be fair, like when they said, "Oh, you're gonna sing tonight," I was like, you know what? You've seen me at my worst now, innit? So what more can you do to me?
Let me give you some vocals. I might as well give you some vocals.
And whatnot. So when we actually got to sing on the stage and all that kind of stuff, and it was amazing.
Yeah, man. It's the London Palladium too. Like the place is massive.
Like singing that song, and yeah, I was like, fine, okay, you guys saw us at worst, now you're gonna see us kind of
Do our thing.
They did. To be fair, they did sort us out in it with the clothes and everything. They did come correct, and we were able to come on stage properly and sing. Yeah.
So how did you feel after doing that? Like, what was you feeling? Was you like, this is something I could get used to? Or was this like, wow, what's going on here?
It took a little bit of time to settle in.
I think it was a mixture of both.
Yeah,
because the next day we had to go back to work.
literally.
So that night, that night when we got home, I couldn't really sleep because my mind was just like, I'm like, did that really happen? And I was at work, and I was just like, I had to tell the person I was sitting next to me, I was like, listen, let me just tell you what happened yesterday. And they were like, how are you in work today? Like, how are you even functioning? Like,
no,
how would they even be here?
I met with some friends after work. I was like, I had to tell someone.
Because it just felt unreal. And I was like, you know what? That whole
We could only
experience,
tell them so much, obviously contractually and stuff like that. But yeah, I had to tell someone.
but the whole experience was like, okay, now I feel like this is something that we could probably do on a regular basis. Not the spa thing,
No,
but
Not the spa reviews, because I'm not TripAdvisor, but
I definitely got that. Listen. I definitely felt the sense that it was setting the scene for something else. Didn't know what was going to come, didn't know what was going to happen, but it felt like that was the direction that it was going in, and it was like, yeah, it was mad.
So that happens in 2019. What does you guys' 2020 vision look like? And then what did 2020 eventually look like?
So we had plans to record the rest of the EP, have that out by like October time, and be working on a music video and getting different stuff done. And then COVID said,
It said no.
It literally pushed pause on everything.
Cancelled everything.
So we were like, okay, so what do we actually do? Literally, it pushed pause on everything.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I left the exam board the week before the lockdown.
Yeah.
So I just started a new job, and we literally had a week in the office, and they're like, actually, guys, you need to go home. And we're like, oh. So we had to do training online at home, and everything was just going haywire. I was just like, okay, Jesus, you do what you're doing it. But
all of my work went virtual. Like my interviews, my work with children, young people, whatever it might be, everything was virtual, man. It was weird. It was weird to get used to, but I'm familiar with it now.
But I think 2020, as hard as it has been, I feel like it was a good thing in some ways, because it allowed people to slow down and take stock of what they actually have in their life and be grateful for the things that we overlook at times. Like people say, it's underrated, the fact that you can go out and come back. That in itself is underrated. And no one really appreciates that. And for me, I definitely needed 2020 because the Lord was like, I thought I was okay with certain things. And the Lord was like, oh wait, there's this, there's that, there's this that you haven't done with, and this, that. And I'm like,
it confronted you with yourself.
I'm like, oh, I thought I'd done it. And Jesus was like, no, you need to get that sorted. I was like, okay, Jesus, we're gonna work on this. But then I was like, there were some points in me, I just don't feel like I'm gonna make it to heaven. I feel like there's because at this point, like, I don't know, like, is there any chance for me? But thank God for His grace and His mercy. That's all I can say.
You know what's crazy about that is that it's so true. Like 2020 literally put a mirror in front of everyone's face and said, be at home, deal with your issues, deal with your problems. You can't go out and, you know, do whatever you do to kind of move away from your problems. You can't go and do this. You can't go and do that. Like, if you're going to go and do this, you're going to have to go get some shopping, or you're going to have to wear a mask and all these kind of things. And it was kind of like 2020 said, like, look at yourself. What's happening? What are we doing? What's going on? And it's amazing to see that you guys had so many plans, as did a lot of other people, for 2020. Listen, 2020 for me was, I was ready. I was like, oh yeah, 2020. I got so many plans. I got so many people to speak to. Praise God. And then COVID said, you don't need to speak to those people, you know. I said, COVID, please. I said, what's going on here? But literally, like, it put a mirror in front of myself to kind of, and a lot of people to say, what am I doing? And even for a lot of people, what is my purpose? Because people just looked at it like, okay, I'm doing this 9 to 5, or I'm doing this and this, or I'm doing something that I don't really enjoy. And some people now started businesses. Some people are now, you know, doing all these different types of things from the start of 2020 to 2021 that they weren't doing before. So it's amazing to see how you guys are now progressing to 2021, and now you're on The Voice. You see the transition there. I've been working. So now you're on The Voice, 2021. How do you guys even get involved in that? And what does it entail? Because, and I'll tell you why, because we spoke before, obviously, pre-recording, but there's certain things that it entails that we don't see. But what is it that it entail, like, in terms of, let's go from the start. How do you guys get on there? What's that like?
Okay, so I think what it is, you can either apply, or they've got like a research team that kind of goes out and kind of approaches people and stuff like that. And we had no intention of going on The Voice.
No intention at all.
We had no intention at all. And we thought if we were ever to do a singing competition, it would be The Voice, just because of the concept. Yeah. But so then we were approached, and we were like, I don't know about this.
Did you think it was fake, or did you like think, oh no, this is someone really approaching us about The Voice?
Oh no, it was 2 people. Yeah, approaching, because the first one, because of other reasons, we were just like. But then I was approached then on Instagram, and I was like, okay. I had the conversation. I said, I'll speak to Jordan about it, and we'll see what we do. And then we thought, you know what? Why not? We just literally thought, why not? We prayed, and I think I said in another interview, like, I prayed asked God about it, but I didn't get an answer. I didn't get an answer. I was like, okay, right. So it could be an opportunity. So it could not be. But we can only find out if we actually walk and see what it's about. Because if it's not, of course, if it's not for you, it won't work. It will shut down. So I said, it's not, shut it down.
And no more turnaround. Yep.
Even before that, because you have like some
pre-stuff that you gotta do.
Some auditions first, and then you have a callback.
For like most shows that they do.
There's a process where you have like producers and all that kind of stuff, and then you get a callback, and then you get on to do a blind audition. Like you're not guaranteed a spot on the show. So we went through that throughout the whole process, and throughout all that time, we're saying to God, if it's not of you, like, shut it down. But every time we had done the audition, you're through to the next round. You're through to the next round. You're through to the next round. Come here, come to the studios, and let's get this done in person now. When we could in the summer, and then they said that if we're successful, we'd hear back within, like, I thought they said 2 to 3 weeks, but John said 3 to 4 weeks.
They said 3 to 4 weeks.
And by the end of like August, I think it must have been like at that time. I was like, you know what, John, I don't think we've got it. I think this is probably the end of the road for us. Like, it's fine. It's all right. Do you know what I mean? We move. Do you know what I mean? And then it was the Tuesday, that was bank holiday weekend in August. The Tuesday, I think towards the evening, middle of the day.
The thing is, I had a dream before that. I think it was either Saturday or the Sunday. It was a very weird dream, and Jonathan McReynolds was in it. I don't know why, but he said to us, like, expect a call very soon. So I'm just thinking, okay.
Wait, Jonathan McReynolds, Sunday Best. You just mixing up the shows in the dream. The dream.
Okay. I was like, I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. Yeah. I didn't really think much of it. I mentioned it to Wesley and my mum, and they were like, oh, okay, cool. And then
it was Tuesday around about middle of the afternoon. I get this call. I was like, okay, there's an answer machine, a voice message saying, hey guys, such and such from the Voice team. We've got some good news to give you guys, and we want to work together. So I was like trying to tell John to come home, but John was at one of Gung's house meeting with one of his friends. And as we ended up having the conversation the next day to find out that we had been offered a blind audition. So we were like, mad. Okay. And they were a little bit nervous.
Listen, when they came in and said, "Oh, we'd like you to go get it," we were like,
because we sang as one of our audition songs and stuff.
And they were like, "Yeah, go get it." Like they were. We were like, Are you sure?
That's in your bag as well. Like that's in your wheelhouse. Like you guys have that prepped. You guys have that prepped. Oh, go get it. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sure? We're like, yeah, you guys can do that one. And because obviously, gospel song and TV shows like Amazing Grace, Bridge Over Troubled Water,
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Them ones. Yeah.
So when they said that, we were like, oh, okay.
I was taken aback. And I was like, all right, cool. We can work with this. We can work with that. So we got onto that. We had like rehearsals and we did all this with a bunch of filming.
Listen, the band, the
band is so fire.
The band,
the Voice UK band,
the band. Down to the arrange, down to everything. Like, and I think because it had been so long since we'd sang like with live musicians, when we went to the rehearsals,
it was overwhelming, man. I was like, yo,
that must have been sweet. Yeah.
So sweet. The standard was just like
crazy.
It was mad. And then
when we actually went on stage to do it,
listen,
if you knew how tired I was before actually doing that audition,
we were up from like 4:30 that morning.
Huh? And we didn't get on stage until
about 10 to 6, quarter to 10 to 6.
Whoa.
All of that for 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Imagine.
Whoa.
1 minute and 40 seconds, you know, literally. But no, to be fair, like the team, like and all that stuff were great. They're cool, and it's really friendly. So it's not, even though it's a long day, it was a long day. They were so accommodating and all of that stuff. And we had, it was a good time. It was just long. It was just long, but. Yeah,
and that's the thing that we don't see when we're as viewers. When we're watching it, we see cut scene. Some of us think it's the same 30 minutes. You got that cut scene outside, then they filmed you going into this place, filmed you, you know, they've gone to your house probably one day, filmed you in Coventry singing and in church and whatever, and then all of a sudden now they filmed you backstage, and it looks like they filmed you backstage, and you've walked straight out. That's how it looks to us. But obviously, there's so much more that goes into it. And the fact that you're up from 4 something to then sing at 6 something in the evening, that is a long day. That's evening service. That's having church in the day, having a service in the middle, and then having evening service, and you sang at all 3 of those services.
Right. It's that equivalent. So we were tired by that time, and then we were just like, you know what? It is what it is. The time is now. And the band is what the Holy Spirit and the band gave us that energy. because that
Wesley basically ran onto the stage. So I was trying to catch up with him. I don't know why. I was like, listen.
You know when you're just like, you're ready and then your adrenaline's there. You just like,
And I'm just like, why you walk so fast?
I was trying to slow down, but I couldn't.
Listen, I need energy for this performance. Don't tell me how I know.
What people don't know is that, because it sounds like when we're singing, we just come in like, it's like a few seconds, you hear the clicks and then the music comes in.
It was like a 45 second
wait. We were still on the stage for like 45 seconds.
To a minute of literally pure silence. And I was just like, when is this music going to start?
So it made the nerves start
to that's bubbling. That's bubbling. All of that's bubbling. All of that is bubbling in your belly. Yeah, definitely.
God. And then when we had the clicks, we're like, all right, it's go time. And then we just, it happened. But then even watching the performance back, I can hear the tiredness in my voice, because obviously I know how I sing and stuff. I can hear the tiredness. I'm like, you know, it's fine. We managed to get 2 chair turns, so.
Yes.
So literally you only get 1 chance. And if you say you've gone through the producers and whatever, if that day you're off, that's it.
No, 1 chance and that's it.
That's it. Because our mindset wasn't even that we're going on to the show to get a chair to turn. Like, we've got a song, we've got an opportunity to minister and be a light, do you know what I mean? In some way, shape or form. So we thought, all right, we're going to go on there. Our main thing was that is if we go on there and they put it on TV, it will be on YouTube.
So it has to be good.
So it just needs to be. That's what I was.
Listen,
are we thinking about the transition to YouTube?
more concerned about that transition because it'll be there for like always. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So we thought at least sing the song good, bless the Lord first and foremost, and if we get a chair to turn, then it's happy days.
Because even our mom, like, she was at the side, like, down there.
Yeah.
She forgot about chair turns, everything. She was just in the song.
Your mum was just like,
just sweetly, just.
look at me. I was just like, yes.
Literally, because we told her that the band were really good and that the production, everything is really, really good. So she just zoned into that and was just vibing throughout the whole song. So she's supposed to be looking at a TV screen to see that if the judges will turn. She wasn't bothered. She was just so. She was just so in the song.
God.
Oh.
And then they turned it.
And then they turned, man. Like, yeah.
One of the things that I want to kind of understand as well is once they've turned, and then from there until the semi-final performance, how much work and effort, considering, you know, what you guys was doing, both was working at the time, how much effort goes in after that? Or is it like, you know, do you get a break, or is it just like go?
It was pretty much.
I think it was okay. We had a break after the Blinds, like I think like a week or so.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we had to go in for the piano routine there with Ollie and everyone, where they announced your battle partner and all that kind of stuff. So I think after that little break there, it was go. So once we found out we were paired with Tasha and the song that they'd chosen, we were literally like, obviously, because it's different now because of COVID. So we had to like exchange numbers and try and work out Zoom calls to kind of go through the arrangements of this and all that kind of stuff. And
really?
It was a lot. It was a lot. But it was fun. Like,
100%.
I can't say it was stressful or anything like that.
It was so good to work with Tasha. Like,
she's actually hilarious. Like,
she's a whole vibe. Like, and we just clicked. It was mad. We just clicked and we got on and we did. And like we said, like a lot of people said about this the song that we did, it didn't sound like a battle or like that. It was like a performance. And that was our mindset, that was our goal. And yeah, man, and making sure that we all had like places to show ourselves in terms of what we do, and then come together and blend. And that was everything.
And the thing is, when I watched it, it sounded like a trio. Like you sounded like you guys have been singing together for a while. Because sometimes in singing competitions, what you can get is, especially when it's one person versus a group, or one person singing with a group, like in certain competitions that I've seen, they can sound like the group singing behind the one person, or the one person's being drowned out by the group. But whereas you guys sounded so sweet together, and it was just like, yo.
Thank you, man.
And you did all of that on Zoom as well. Like you're doing all these, trying to work out the arrangements, these little bits and pieces in, you know, the top.
Yeah. And I think
we had another band rehearsal.
Yeah. So even that day, we were literally just figuring out, fine tuning things and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And then when we went away, we had to like rehearse certain parts individually. Yeah. Like even down to the hello, can you hear me? That part
is cold. That part right there is so cold.
In every rehearsal, if you heard how it came out,
it wasn't every time.
Pretty much,
it was the last time it would always happen because they send you like recordings of what you've done, and stuff like that.
So you can rehearse
and stuff. But every time it came to that take,
hello was not. It was not in sync. It was just like it was pitched. It was everything.
It clashed. It was bad.
It was very humbling. Let's just say that.
Listen,
the Lord has a way of just humbling you, like not even to get ahead of yourself. Just like remember, it ain't about you.
Come on.
And that's when you guys start. You guys jump in and start there. That's the entry. That is
exactly.
And it's
originally we were going to sing parts separately.
Yeah.
We discussed it, and then we spoke to one of the vocal coaches and said, "You guys should just sing it together."
Because we didn't want it to sound like three individual singers. We'd rather just sing together and just make it sound as it should. So we're just so glad that the hello came out right.
Do you know, I breathed a sigh of relief after that line.
Yeah. And the thing is, what you don't see is that when we did it, we were looking at Tasha. She looked at us and smiled. Because she knew in us we weren't getting it right. So it was like the first time, like, yeah, we did it.
That part there, it introduces people to not only you guys, but it brings a new level to the song. Tasha does amazingly opening it up. And then because there's now two voices that are just in sync, it's just like, and then you see that part there?
What was it? What was it? He just go ahead do it.
You see that part there? You see that part there? That part there was absolutely ridiculous. I paused it and I said, I need to learn how to do this. I said, well, at some point in time, I'll learn how.
That was him, you know.
I'll learn how to do that.
It was a little bit of inspiration coming from the Lord.
That was you, because I was just singing normally.
I don't know why it just came out. I was just like, really? I was like,
I just wanted to know, can you hear me? But he just had to be extra with the.
Nah, but that part there, it takes it to a whole new level. Tasha comes in, and then when you guys blend as well, like that's amazing. Like shout out to Tasha, she is amazing, amazing.
And that isn't even a half of her voice.
Listen, like she's got so much more to her voice.
It's insane.
Amazing. So now you guys are semi-finalists.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It doesn't feel real. Like it don't. Like it just feels weird.
Like especially considering that we came into this competition with the mindset that we just, you know, if we get a chair to turn, we get a chair to turn. It's fine. If not, we'll still walk and we'll still do. And then to be
at this point,
I mean, like Ollie has like we looked hella shocked when he picked us, right?
That was genuine shock because obviously he didn't have any. There was no steals left, and we found out before we went on stage there was no steals left, and we're like, okay, cool. In my mind, we were going home. Yeah, so I was like, let's just go and give a good performance, go home, and just be like, cool.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, obviously on TV they edit everything down, but it was like a good 5-6 minutes for him making a decision. So we were standing there just like, alright, I'm just ready to hear Tasha's name and be like, yo, whatever. So when he said Jordan Wesley, I was, and listen, they did me dirty, because the screenshot that they used.
They did you dirty still. They did you dirty. This is.
I was just like, it's true, man. Like, really.
But I was not expecting to go through, and it's not even a thing you just say. I generally was not expecting to go through. But we're grateful all the same to be
in the semi-finals and to be able to, I suppose, continue and go further. And do it all again. It's mad.
It's crazy. And the people that you meet behind the scenes that you can interact with and just talk with, share your faith, all that kind of stuff. Like, listen, it's been amazing. Like,
and the other contestants are like genuinely cool. Like they're genuinely nice people as well.
And the talent this year, boy.
Listen, it feels like it's gone up a level. It really does.
People are singing.
And they're bringing their best. So it's just like, to be considered a semi-finalist amongst all these is crazy.
Crazy, man.
But you know what it is as well? What we've got to remember is some people a lot of us haven't had live music or, you know, been able to rehearse or sing with certain people for over a year. So to those people who are getting through, they're like, listen, I have to bring my A game. I have to. Because it's like, you don't know when this opportunity is going to come again, or you don't know when even little things like you don't know when you're going to sing with a live band again. It's little things like that where you're just like, nah, I'm leaving it all out here. So if anyone says, listen, you're going home, I can be like, cool.
Yeah. 100%. 100%, man. Like, it's surreal. It's surreal. It's crazy, man. But we're thankful. We're thankful that we're here, and that I suppose, like, I know, with our performance, with the response it's had, and it being said that we were like a trio, and it wasn't like a battle, like a screamer match. Like, just nice to think. I think whether we stayed or whether we went, that would have been the response. Yeah, man.
And it's amazing to have that type of performance out there for Ollie to put it up, for people to be so much support that you've had. Like, from people just like, yo, this, if you're gonna watch The Voice, you need to see this. You guys was last on the show. Like, so all the time when they put someone last on the show, it's kind of like, this is the big one. You guys need to watch this one. Like, stay to the end and you'll see Like it's serious, like because it's a lot with a lot of shows. That's how they tend to kind of do. They have a great opener, and then they try and save the best for last, essentially. And I think that's what you guys had. One thing I want to ask you is how important is God to you guys, especially with kind of the growth and moving forward with your, careers as well as music careers. How important is God and why?
God is the most important. Like I think, period, just in life in general. Like, and when we compartmentalize and we talk about different careers or parts that we're on, I have to go to Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. It literally has to be that trusting in the Lord with all your heart and not leaning on your own understanding, but acknowledging Him, and He shall direct your path. Like having to, I think, just realizing that we don't know the information that we have or what we know isn't even ours. We learned from Him. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the greatness of the God that we serve. So in terms of music and in terms of any other career or whatever, I have to be led by Him. I have to be. It has to be Him driven. And the thing is, because I've made that decision to walk after Him in obedience, if it's not what He would like, it's not going to be for my good. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to work out in some kind of way. So I'm just learning. Do you know what? Just if it's a no right now, or if it's a wait or whatever, I'm just trying to learn to be cool, just be patient with it, and then in time, because we wanted to be able to do singing stuff for a very long time. This has happened all in the space of a year. Considering that it started from 2019 with my show and then being on The Voice and stuff like that. We had no idea. But then if things happened earlier, there's no way in which I was not ready. I was not ready. No. But we're so sure of ourselves, and we kind of feel like we know exactly where we are. But you've got someone who knows your end telling you actually, I think there's a pause here. There's still a little more growing for you to do. And then when it's time, trust me, it always happens. Things like this always happen. Mom always says God can do a sudden work. Or God can do a quick work. God can do a quick work. Yes. And everything just turns around within such a short amount of time. And you're in the position that you have desired to be in, but you realize you're now there not because of yourself, but because of what God can do through you and to bring Him glory. So that's what it's about. So that's why God is number one in every aspect. Hands down.
And that's beautiful to hear. To hear how important God is to you guys, but not just that, but God is number one.
Yeah.
If all else fails, God is number one. If you guys, God forbid, leave in the semi-final stage, win the thing, God is number one. And that is so important to keep and to keeps you centered, keeps you grounded throughout everything. One of the things that I do want to also ask you guys though, is considering where you guys have kind of come from. You've been in church, you've been grounded in church, grounded in Christianity, sang on The Voice, sang on The Unexpected, star of the show. In all of that's happened in your life, has there ever been a time where you guys have felt it's difficult to overcome in life? And how did you overcome it?
I would say most days or most weeks. Listen, life is a lot. Listen. Life is a lot.
I hear you.
Nice. At least each week I'm like, Jesus, for real. Like I always say, right now, I say if it's not one thing, it's something else. Listen, one thing I'm learning on this journey with Jesus is that if you even let up just for 1 second, the enemy will take advantage of that 1 second and just try and wreak havoc. And it's like, Jesus, I just need a break. Just like a little break. But this race is not.
No, it's not given to the swift. It's not given to the swift. Or to the strong, but to him that's going to endure to the end.
So it's endurance. So for me, how I overcome. Listen, I think for me, I have to remember whose child I am. Remember that what I want isn't necessarily always the best thing, and especially for me, Philippians 4 verse 3.
What are you trying to say?
Basically that. Take everything to God in prayer.
Verse 6.
It's in verse 6. Philippians 4 verse 6. Be anxious for nothing. Pray about everything. That's one thing that I'm holding to, especially since last year, like COVID times. All my stresses and worries and stuff like that, I have to literally leave it with Him. And the peace that He gives you in exchange for that, the world can't give it to you.
True.
So we then decided to take it back. Like, listen, I've done many times. Like, take that thing back and be like, okay, maybe I'll do this or try this and all that kind of stuff. And God's just sitting there like, did you not leave this with me? Like, why are you taking it back and making more stress for yourself and all this kind of stuff? And it's like, okay, Jesus, once I leave with you, it's with you. Don't think about it. You've got it in your control. And it's just moving forward like that. It's not always easy. It's not always easy, but it's not impossible. That's one thing I'm learning. Just because it isn't doesn't mean it's not impossible. So it's, for me, standing in that and knowing that he wants what's best for you at the end of the day. God wants what's best for you. He is not going to leave you out in the dark or anything like that for you to just be ruined and whatnot.
He's never going to forsake you. Yeah.
Exactly. He wouldn't be the father he is if he did that. So, yeah.
I think for me, it's just like I find myself, or a lot of times I get myself worked up, or I'm trying to manage a lot of things, and I'm then stressing and stuff like that. And in a lot of ways, I've realized even more recently that I'm quite a perfectionist. I like to get things to a T.
It's not about recently. This has been going on for years.
But I think for myself, I'm realizing
it's that self-realization.
Yeah, and because
we've been telling you.
And because like so much has happened and so much has been going on, I've realized, you know what, I can only do so much. And something that's really kind of spoke to me, or I'm actively trying to do, is I'm trying not to stress over what stress can't fix. Stressing over what stress can't fix, because stress in itself leads to you feeling overwhelmed, and to the point where you don't know what to do. Especially you can't see the wood for the trees and stuff like that. But if I can't actively do it, if I can't manage it, why am I stressing? Me stressing and worrying over it,
it's not going to change the situation.
No, but what it does do, it impacts on your health.
Yeah,
and your actual well-being, and you can't then function in maybe something that is probably less stressful because you're still worried about something that you can't actually take care of just right now. So things that I can't handle, I'm like, all right, God, I give it to you. I'm learning that. I can't. Every situation I can't always manage or handle. But I know that if I can't do it, I know there's someone that's greater than me that can do it better than I can. And it's learning that leaning, that trusting, that relationship, and just knowing that if the Bible calls God to be a rock, and the solid rock, and that's who it is that I'm leaning on. That's who it is I'm having to depend on. So when sometimes you go through situations and you overcome by the blood, the Lamb, the word of His testimony. But then sometimes you're still going through. But that's still you're going through a process of overcoming. Yeah. And being able to then say, you know what, I'm more than a conqueror. Like, you know what I'm saying? Through Christ Jesus, like it's not by myself, but it's by His Spirit. So that's literally my faith. That's what I walk on. That's what I'm trying to live by, because I know it guarantees me peace, not just what the world gives, but God's peace, which passes all understanding. So that's what I'm here for.
And you know what you said, which is key, is you said about leaning on God and having full faith in Him, because obviously when you're a perfectionist, you look at the little bits and pieces. Oh, that don't look right. That don't sound right. Oh, I need to fix this and this. And you'll be trying to work on this little bit and piece here. You start missing deadlines over here. You start missing when this was meant to go out. You start focusing on this, that which requires you focus. And it all comes down to us not having a full faith in God. It comes down to us saying, God, I'm going to give you 50%. You handle this 50% because I've got this 50% over here. I can deal with this on my ones. And sometimes it takes a self-realization to understand that, listen, even the 50% that I gave God isn't enough. The 50% that I'm trying to deal with, I'm never going to be able to deal with. I need to give that to God as well. So it comes back to a full faith in God to say, listen, I'm trusting you with everything. Yes, it's a daily thing that I have to remind myself of. However, I am trusting you with everything. So whatever happens from here on in, you have it under control. I'm not going to say, not going to stress and but it's a daily thing as well. You have to say to yourself daily, listen, okay, I'm not going to stress about this, God. I'm going to give it to you. Okay, that's day 1. Day 2, God, I'm not going to stress about this thing. I'll give it to you. Day 3, God, I know I told you yesterday, but I need to give it to you today, because if I think about this for too long, I'm going to stress about it. It's all of them things. It's about full
Literally,
faith.
100%.
It's really about
And
having
when you trust and when you lean on God, you honor Him.
faith.
So automatically He respects what it is that you're trying to do, or respects what you're doing, or appreciates your efforts, and comes in and does, and then that then shows you more evidence of God, more evidence of what He can do to you, and it builds a relationship. So it's kind of like, though it's like you're doing one thing, you're gaining something as well.
And the thing is as well, sometimes we can look at it when you're a perfectionist or when you want to produce stuff, that's great, is we look at excellence equates to perfection, but it doesn't. Excellence doesn't equate to perfection. Perfection is not possible. Excellence is giving your all and producing it to the highest quality you can. And whether there's mistakes or whatever, then that's fine because you've given it the excellence. Perfection isn't there, but we equate those two things together and say, if this isn't perfect, it's not excellent. And that's not how God works. God just said, just give me everything.
Right.
Just give me everything. And cool, we're blessed, you get me? Handshake and everything. My last question to you guys. What advice would you give to yourselves as individuals and as a duo for where you're at in life right now?
That's a very good question.
That's a very good question. I would say, I say to myself, Wesley, first, like, continue to do what you're doing, or what you've realized, or what you're now realizing. Continue to be actively engaged in that, in terms of that understanding, and walk in it and learn as you do. Because it will only propel you into what God has for you. That's what I would say to myself right now. And I'd also say that as a duo as well, like just to continue to do, or to walk in the vein that we are. To trust God.
What I said to myself, I would say to myself, don't go back into the right spot. That's one thing I would say.
I'm more serious, you know.
Listen, those extra helpings don't help. I would say that, and also I would say, don't sweat the small stuff. Like, God has you covered in every sense of the word. Like, you've seen Him do it before, He can do it again. And for us as a duo, just continue to walk in the vein that God is leading you in. He has your best interests at heart. He's gonna take care of every little thing, even down to that finite detail, because He's a perfectionist. He'll sort that out because He knows it irritates you or bothers you. He'll get it sorted. So it's to literally cast all your cares on Him because He cares for you. It's a daily thing. Like, the struggles will come, tests and trials will come, but we are more than conquerors through Christ. Like, we're already victorious. Like, the enemy knows his end.
Talk to them.
The enemy knows his end. Like, so he will try everything he can to distract you from you getting to where you are going to be, because either way we're going to be victorious, and he's just going to be there in hell, like just doing what he's doing. So he's just trying to drag you down there with him because he's I don't know what he's doing his thing. But heaven is our home.
Be focused and be driven.
Exactly. And enjoy life as much as you can. What you can, like.
And like John said earlier, like, live in the moment, enjoy the moment, experience it, take it in. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's your experiences that you can carry on with you. Material stuff is here and it's there, but your experiences, they stay with you for a very long time.
And they help make you the people that you are to be as well. So a lot of people are so focused on the destination that they forget the journey, but the journey itself is a part of getting to the destination. And there's things that you can pick up along the way that are going to help you when you get to the destination. And if you just miss everything, when you get there and someone asks you a question, it's just like, oh,
it's true.
But if you paid attention back when you were on your way,
you'll be able to handle what it is that you're wanting.
It's things like that.
Jordan and Wesley, JW Musiq, thank you very much. You already know I appreciate you guys. You already
Thank you for having us.
Real talk.
You already know. Guys, this has been Conversation with Haych with the amazing JW Musiq, Jordan and Wesley. Henry, this is going to come out. The semi-finals would have been the day before. However, we're praying that they would have gone forth and gone through. In Jesus' name. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll have more content for you guys coming very, very soon.